So we've already written a letter of recommendation and we have uploaded it into Naviance. Well, the next thing to do is to write a letter of appreciation. In other words, to write a thank you note for the person who wrote your letter of recommendation. And that is what we're going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. Lesson objectives. What are we going to be doing? Well, the essential question is, how do I thank a teacher for writing a letter of recommendation? By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to construct, in other words, you'll be able to write a letter of appreciation. You'll be able to write a thank you note. And the standards that we will be addressing are written down here. Before we go any further, let's go over our vocabulary word. We've already touched on this at the beginning of this unit, but a letter of appreciation. This is a fancy way of saying a thank you note in the business world. And this is acknowledging somebody for the time they spent doing something for you. There are basically two times that you're going to be writing a letter of appreciation. The first time is, for example, when a teacher writes a letter of recommendation for you. The other time that you're going to be writing a letter of appreciation is whenever you have a job interview. This time, we're going to be writing one for the letter of recommendation that the teacher is writing for you, and that's what we're going to be focusing on right now. So if you're anything like me, the hardest part is knowing what to say. So basically, the summary of what you're writing, you're going to be saying how much you appreciate the time that the person spent writing nice things about you. And just like the letter of recommendation, I'm going to give you a template of things to say. It's going to be easy and we're going to go through it together. So no worries whatsoever. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can write old-fashioned card and letter, which I highly recommend. And I hope you guys do when you get gifts. I hope you write cards and send them to people that give you gifts. But for this lesson, we are going to be using Microsoft Word. We're going to be writing it out, and then we're going to be uploading it into your favorite place, which is Naviance. So for this assignment, we're going to be writing it out and then uploading it. The thank you note can be very simple. It can be as easy as writing something like, thank you for writing a letter of recommendation to me. I appreciate the time that you spent. Your support means a lot to me. And then signing it with your name. It is just letting the teacher know that you appreciate the time and you appreciate their support. You are acknowledging that it did take them time and that you do appreciate what they did for you. And it says something about you and your character that you are looping back and acknowledging them for them acknowledging you. So when do you send the thank you note? Well, just like in the real world, when your great Aunt Gertrude sends you a gift, you should send the thank you note out immediately. When you know that the teacher has written the letter of recommendation for you, you should immediately, within the next couple of days, you should send them the thank you note. In this case, you should have this assignment done by the end of the week, just like any other assignment that is due this week, you should complete it immediately. So you want to get your thank you note out immediately, and that way you can let the teacher know, because here's the thing, you're probably going to ask the teacher to write you another one. Chances are you are not going to ask the teacher for just one letter of recommendation. You're probably going to go back to that teacher again. So you want to make sure that you thank them, because what if you need to ask them for another one? And then a year later, you go back to that teacher and they're like, wait a second, they didn't say anything to me. They didn't thank me. Why should I bother writing another letter to that ungrateful student? You don't want to be that ungrateful student. Thank them for what they did for you. And then they'll be happy to write a second letter of recommendation for you when you go to get that other job, or when you go to apply for the National Honor Society, or when you go to apply for college. You will have a boatload of teachers wanting to write letters of recommendation to you because you are the most grateful, enjoyable student that they have ever met. So listen up. Here is what you're going to do. You are going to obviously watch this recording, which you're doing right now. You are then going to download right here, there is a thank you letter template. You're going to click on this and you're going to download it. When you do, the template looks like this. You're going to put the date in. You're going to fill in whatever date you're doing it, which should be the date this week, so you do it on time. You're then going to put in whoever you had asked to do the original letter. So just, pretend whatever teacher you want to pretend. It doesn't matter. Then you can fill in, thank you for writing the letter recommendation for me. Then you're going to write 2 more sentences. You can copy them directly from this PowerPoint. So I gave you an example of what you could write. You can write exactly what I told you in this lesson. Exactly word for word. You can put it in. Then sincerely, and then you put your name. You save it. Remember what you save it as, because then you are going to submit it. Now, remember what you save it as, because guess what? Next week, we are going to upload it into, dun, 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 Naviance. So be sure that you remember what you save it as, because it's going to be an easy couple points next week when we go to upload it. So, easy way, remember, you can copy directly from the PowerPoint. When I say copy, you're not going to be copying and pasting. You're going to be looking at what I suggested you write, and you're going to be typing it in. You can come up with your own wording if you want. So, did we achieve our goals? You guys know what a letter of appreciation is. It is a thank you note. You guys know why it is important to send one, and you should know that you should be sending one out immediately. So check, check, check. We have achieved our goals.